Hi everyone, welcome back to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine, and in this special Christmas Eve video I'm going to be doing an unboxing. First off, happy Christmas Eve everyone if you are celebrating Christmas. Otherwise, I hope this video finds you nice and peaceful and with a good book on the go. This is, like I said, I've used the word special. It is a special video in a few different ways. First off, it's my 100th video, which I can't quite believe, not quite sure where all of that time has gone, but I do hope that you enjoy, keep returning to my channel for different bookish content when I upload each video. And with this one, I thought that we would keep on a festive theme. A few months ago, I thought, why not be kind to myself and buy myself some books that I have wanted all the year, but I haven't yet got my hands on. So I went down a second-hand route for that and went on World of Books. And I've ended up, I think, with 5 or 6 books in this parcel that I have kept wrapped up and safe for 58 days. This parcel arrived on the 27th of October. So all of my bookish self-restraint has been deployed in me not opening this parcel. So with that said, grab yourself a cup of something nice and warm and we shall open it together. Because it has been a couple of months since this parcel arrived, I can't quite fully remember the books that are inside, which I guess is part of the nice experience as well. So without further ado, let's rip into this and chat through the books inside. Okay, here we go. I got these purchases, I should say, as I'm opening it, from World of Books. They are in the UK where I live, and they do, I think they've got millions and millions of hardbacks and paperbacks pre-owned and new condition. You can basically select the price that you want to pay across the different conditions available. So I think there's like good, very good, excellent, I'm not quite sure, but I usually go for the most reasonably priced and reasonable condition, probably like a lot of people out there. So I have used World of Books for a little while now, but anyway, saying that, I have opened it. So in no particular order, just the order that they come out. First up is The King's Loot, the greatest royal jewellery heist in history by Richard Wallace. I've had my eye on this since this was published, and I believe it is published by History Press, is that right? Yeah, the History Press. And I have always been fascinated by the British royal family and the Windsors in particular. And this book is all about, it says, Geneva, April 1987, the staid Swiss town is awash with limos, journalists and minor European aristocracy. All the best hotels and restaurants are bursting at the seams. Caviar, truffles and foie gras are in short supply, while champagne is flooding the market at ridiculously high prices. They are all focused on one place, Sotheby's Auction House, which is preparing to host the auction of the century, that of the late Duchess of Windsor's jewellery collection. So this just caught my eye because it is a period in history that I wasn't aware of. I feel like I'll learn something new. It's not that long. It was quite hard to find a copy in libraries or elsewhere. I'd been looking for a little while, so I was really pleased to see this. I shall put the price up with future me when I'm editing this video, so you can get a sense of the price that I paid. But that's hardback, and that's The King's Loot by Richard Wallace. So next in the bag, I recognise the colour scheme of this. This is actually I'm a Murderer by Terry Deary, and this is A book that caught my eye. Terry Deary is an author that I have been reading since I was a little girl. He is famed throughout the UK and probably the world over for his Horrible Histories series, which makes a lot of historical topics and figures accessible to young children and people. Sorry, I've got sort of cat hair on my eyelash. Makes it really accessible and fun and engaging, which I think is so important for topics like that might otherwise be dry and stuffy. But I had heard Terry on a couple of podcasts chatting about this fiction book, and it says inside, 4 strangers on a train, an unlikely introduction. Actually, I'm a murderer. It is 1973 and the lives of 4 people are thrown into turmoil when sharing a carriage with an unremarkable little man with glasses on the night train back to Newcastle. By the end of the following day, one of them will be dead, one will turn blackmailer and another forced to commit a crime. So I'm not going to go on any further than that. That sounds really, really enjoyable. I'm really curious to see kind of Terry's writing style in terms of this being a novel. And I did hear, I'm sure, I hope I get this right, that when Terry was interviewed around the publication of this one, he was saying that he had caught a night train as a young student or a young man and had kind of had a sort of a remarkable experience, or something had kind of struck his kind of creative chord in that way, and that stayed with him until this point, until he's written this novel. So he was inspired, I think, in some regard, not to murder, but to actually write from being on a really late night train. So that's that one. Again, I'll pop the price up on the screen, but that's actually I'm a Murderer by Terry Deary. So next, there are 3 left in here, so I'm just going to pick out the next one, and this is Storybook Ending by Moira MacDonald, published by Bloomsbury. I think it was I'd seen reviews of this one, and the cover as well caught my eye. So again, I was trying to hunt down a copy of this for most of the year. Can't quite remember when it was published. Was it earlier this year? This is the hardback. Yeah, published 2025. But look how lovely and kind of light and sort of enticing and inviting and breezy that is. And it says here, Laura has found a note in a book. She has no idea it's for her, ... So I'm hoping that there's charm and there's warmth through this novel by Moira, and it says this is the story of a love triangle ... of sorts. It looks like we've got 3 main characters, April, Laura and Wesley, and it basically says the overarching blurb at the bottom. It says an intricate web of miscommunication and serendipitous encounters. Storybook Ending is a playful tribute to romance, friendship and bookstores, and to the objects from a forgotten slip of paper to someone's heart left between the pages of books. That sounds lovely. That to me sounds like a springtime read. Or if winter is particularly tough, I might gravitate towards that sooner. But yeah, I'm glad that I now own a copy of this. Again, it's a hardback. I shall share the price I paid for this one. But that looks like a really nice one to have on my upcoming TBR. That is Storybook Ending by Moira MacDonald. Down to the last couple, as I was saying. So next up is Kate and Frida by Kim Fay. Kim Fay is an author. I loved her novel, Love and Saffron, and have recommended it. I've bought it for friends and family. I think that is the best sign of how much you have enjoyed a book and it stays with you, not just a one-time kind of encounter, but loved it. And I have, saying that, I have high hopes for Kate and Frida. And this is one, again, where it was proven to be really expensive to find elsewhere online, which is why I ended up getting a copy when it was available on World of Books. And this is published by Putnam. And I really like the size of that actually. You don't know if you can tell, but it's actually a smaller hardback than some others. I mean that, okay, just a second. We have this size hardback, then we have this size hardback, and then we have the traditional full size hardback. So you can see there, hopefully, these three there are just all different size hardbacks, but variety is the spice of life. So back to Kate and Frida, it says sometimes a book can change your life. 20-something Frida arrives in Paris in 1991, relishing the city's butter-soaked cuisine and seeking her fortune as a war correspondent. But when she writes to a bookshop in Seattle, she receives more than just the book she requests. A friendship begins that will redefine the person she wants to become. And that's what I love about Kim's writing. In Love and Saffron, there was this kind of really life-affirming friendship that was forged out of two women living on different sides of America, different ages, different worlds they were living in, yet they formed an amazing friendship bond through their letters. And it sounds like this one is going to have all of those brilliant ingredients of friendship, food and books. So this just sounds like I want to lap it up. And it's kind of got those speckled edges, is that what it's called? I'm not quite sure. Those pages that aren't quite fully, I don't think that's right, speckled, deckled. Someone help me in the comments. I'm making a fool of myself now. But it's kind of got that really rough, almost rough edge there, but lovely. And I think this has been an American published copy because it says $28, $38 Canadian, 28 US. So yeah, published by Penguin overall. But yes, really looking forward to getting to this one. This is probably going to be one of my most anticipated reads of 2026. That is Kate and Frida by Kim Fay. We are on to the last book now. It is hanging out of the bag. It is trying to escape. It is none other than Florence, Ordeal by Water by Catherine Cressman Taylor. And this is published by Mandalay Press. And you can see, beautiful edition. It's just a little bit worn on the edges, but otherwise it looks like it's in great condition for me to enjoy. It is. You can see, look at those gorgeous inside papers there in lilac and lavender colours, setting out a map of Florence. But yeah, amazing condition. Really happy with this one. Again, I will share all the prices that I've paid for these 5 overall. Safe to say that the total was around £50, which was well under half price had I bought them elsewhere. And I'm giving books a new lease of life, a new home. So this book, I follow Mandalay Press. I'm a huge fan. I have already read, sorry, bear with me. I have Letter from New York here. I have just read The Strange House by Raymond Briggs. And I also own, sorry, here, right behind, I don't know if you can see, this one, Appointment with Venus. I also own that. I won't be able to get back in there. I'm not going to attempt to try. And look, by the way, isn't that a gorgeous Christmas card I received yesterday in the post? Absolutely lovely. That's from my stepsister Katie and her family. So I'll just pop that back a second. There we go. So yes, how many Mandalay Press titles is that I've read? Letter from New York, Appointment with Venus, Strange House. This could be my 4th read in the collection, and I have to say this is probably my favourite colour apart from the bright yellow there. Sort of a colour combination, colour palette, absolutely stunning. Mandalay Press does an incredible job of publishing books that are out of print and long forgotten, but revives them in a beautiful way, reimagined in these gorgeous sort of cloth-bound spines and hardcover, and they all have an introduction by an incredible writer. So I'm really happy to own this one. What is this one about though, as like critically? Have you heard of it? If not, I shall share a little bit now. It says, Florence, Ordeal by Water is a vivid eyewitness account of the 1966 flooding of the River Arno in Florence by the American writer and historian Catherine Cressman Taylor. Standing at the window of her pensione on 4th of November, Catherine watched the rising torrent of the Arno, streaked with mud and thick with flotsam oil drums, cars and chairs. Now, this will be really insightful and interesting to read. The flood of 1966 there has absolutely gone down in the history books. I think I first heard of the flood when I saw Sarah Winman talk a few years ago at Marlborough Literary Festival, where she was talking. She was there, Still Life had just been published, so I don't know what year that would have been, 2021, 22, I'm not quite, it felt like one of those COVID years. Really sorry if I've got that wrong. But anyway, ever since then, it's kind of been in the back of my brain. And then when I saw this particular kind of edition was available to read and to hear Catherine's account in this way, I knew I had to get my hands on a copy. And you can see there actually the floodwaters and the said sort of cars and statues and paintings, the devastation that Florence endured, and did everyone kind of pull together to restore some sort of normality with all of that devastation. So I'm really intrigued and curious to kind of see what is what's between the covers here. So that is Florence, Ordeal by Water by Catherine Cressman Taylor, and that's originally published by Mandalay Press. So there you go. These are my, oh sorry, bit of a handful there. Not a massive issue, is it? It's a nice problem to have. But those are my 5 books that I bought myself for Christmas time. They're books that I had my eye on throughout the year, and I just buckled back in October and bought the copies. So congratulate me for keeping them bagged up for 58 days. But as I said, all of these 5 total cost me around £50. So averages out around £10 each. So I don't think that's bad at all. But there you go. I hope you have enjoyed this hopefully short but sweet video. It is Christmas Eve morning when I film this. It is no trickery. I'm going to have hopefully a nice relaxing rest of the day, and I hope you do too. I do have to brave the supermarket. I have a click and collect for my groceries, which I am half dreading, but like ripping a band-aid off. I'm just going to go. Hopefully the car park and the traffic will be kind. Send me all good vibes in that way. And I shall retreat to back home as soon as I can. But anyway, in honour of this special bonus video and in honour of it being my 100th video that I've uploaded, please leave me the digits 100 in the comments below to let me know that you've watched this far. You can type 100, you can use the sort of obviously the number icons, whatever you would like to do, but I feel like that's quite a fitting emoji to share with each other in this particular video. But yes, I do hope that if, like I said at the beginning, if you're celebrating Christmas, that it is everything that you want it to be. I'm going to be with some family tomorrow, a select few of us, but I'm hoping for quite a peaceful day. I'm hoping Father Christmas and perhaps a few others have bought me books. I will enjoy surrounding myself by books in that way. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this Christmas. Gifting, I'm going to be gifting a lot of books to loved ones this Christmas, which I always enjoy seeing their reactions. So I have shared some of those on my channels already, and I will be posting a photo of all of those books that I have bought in the coming days. So watch out for that post over on my Instagram and here on my YouTube. But otherwise, please take care. Please have a lovely, peaceful, restful time. at this time of year, and I shall see you in next week's video. Bye.